if you want.
So if we go live, the only thing going on right now is they're seeing this.
Yep.
And there shouldn't be sound, right?
Should be.
Okay. Awesome.
He said should be.
If our plan has come together, then it should be working. So, talking about divisions, welcome back everybody.
Yeah, talk about the teams that's coming up in the draft maybe.
Talk about how bad the Cowboys are going
Oh, they're gonna be great this year, Becky. Oh,
I won't go 0-16.
Oh, man, I don't know.
somebody I was talking to yesterday is a big Pittsburgh fan.
Yeah, we brought it down from 30s, but it's a new roof. Yeah, but it's like
Hey guys, welcome back. It's Madman. We're back, guys. New location, El Mariachi's in Richlands, Virginia. So
They even have hats.
Awesome.
check out the hat, guys.
It's a tight squeeze, but it's so much fun. Look at this. Isn't this wonderful? We've
It's
got
one big
we've got that
family.
spirit of what is it? What would you call this?
This is a
Mexican.
sombrero.
There you go.
Mexican.
There you go.
Sombrero, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
It is football season
Yes.
coming up on us, a
Almost,
couple
yeah.
months away. But guys, y'all know me. Every time basketball ends, I know it's closer to football
Yes.
season, right?
Yes.
Well, someone's playing football somewhere.
Yes. As a matter of fact, they
Arena
are.
League, Canadian League.
It's going on right now.
I can see a few
someone's
kids
playing.
in the mud right now doing it.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you
Well,
go.
that was just Brett.
So guys,
You know you were with me. Come on.
That's true.
All right.
welcome back, everybody. We are live on Facebook, our first show ever live. So welcome, everybody. Welcome back. Brett, the Hitman, is here.
Excited.
He's back all the way from who knows where.
Oh, well, you know.
Maybe UTEP or somewhere.
I like to bounce around.
Have you bought that globe I told you to get?
Yes.
Where things are now?
Yes, I
Okay,
did.
great.
Did
There
you buy
you
the
go.
globe?
Did you realize Tech doesn't need to buy football games anymore?
maybe 25.
They were in a bowl game. Tennessee was not.
But
There you go.
that's the one they bought.
Did they buy it?
They
Because
bought it. They did.
I'm glad we're picking up
They
right
did get a
where we
disc.
left off.
Hey, nothing's changed, right? Since last year.
Nothing's
That's
my
awesome.
Brett has not got any smarter.
There you go.
Well, I mean, this is.
Candy,
Glad to be
back.
back.
Glad to have her. She's always
Yes.
a very important part of the show because we get to pick on the Cowboys. And
Which
because
is-
we know we
And I
pick
get
the
to pick
Cowboys.
on
easy to
everybody
do.
else.
That's
so
right.
That's great.
They did make the playoffs last year, and we didn't.
That,
unfortunately.
thanks for saying that. I was not going to say that.
I was going to be nice to start the show.
Tennessee, so.
Believe me, it'll get a lot worse as the year gets on.
Oh, it wouldn't be fun if it wasn't.
That's right. Mayor is back. Hat and all, he's here.
I'm going to see if I can take this with me.
Yeah,
Where's the
absolutely.
Lotus?
I just take it.
Just walk out with it.
I just take it.
I'd take it.
Well, we'll
just
have to come
walking
back
around.
next week.
You need to wear that during the ball, guys. He does the ball games up the road for the Blue Jays. So
Yeah.
get out there for some local fun. That's always a good
Yeah,
time.
good stuff.
Check
tonight.
out his
Good
crazy
stuff.
socks, by the way. You cannot go wrong with his socks. You know he has a sock he wears every day, right?
Yes, yes.
And it's awesome. They're cool socks.
All Smokey wears socks every day.
Well, Brett
But
doesn't
these
wash
are
his
unique
socks or
socks.
underwear these days.
I mean, let's just
That's
hope
right.
he does that.
There you go.
Good job, Brett. But yeah, we're back. We're in the middle of baseball season, but draft is in the books. Off season workouts are about to happen, so it's about that time.
It's time. You're exactly right. And we're ready, guys. We're going to talk
Always
about.
ready.
We've got to kind of get to spring training ourselves.
That's
here.
right.
So-
First time back, we got to get
We're a
ready,
little
get
rusty,
organized. So
Yeah, that's all.
we're going to get in shape, and we'll be fine. Congratulations, real quick, locally, Richlands girls softball team, state
Yes.
champions. Good
Yes,
job, girls. So we're
awesome.
proud of you guys. They've been 3 years in a row.
Yep.
Yeah.
And only one
And-
senior left. So
Yeah.
look out next year.
Next year they could do it
Next year's
again.
gonna be
So
another good year.
be
So,
interesting.
Yeah, it'll be fun. They're on their little championship tour right now. They're kind of seeing everybody and making the rounds with the trophy. But yeah, next year will be fun as well.
Awesome.
They deserve it.
They do, absolutely, guys. And real quick, a couple things. We had one of our sponsors, partners, who called me the other day and wanted to contribute to the Madman Turn Santa. Guys, you know what the show's about. We love football. We talk football, but it's really about getting these kids taken care of for Christmas. The goal this year, 100 kids that we plan to buy Christmas gifts for. State Farm of Castlewood, Larry and the gang down there called me and has been very generous, wants to be partners with the Madman. We got to give a shout out. So for all your insurance needs, make sure you get down to Castlewood and talk to those guys and get you a quote. Hey, you might save some money, get us a little money, take care of these kids, and enjoy the football season.
Yeah, it's going to be a good year, and we appreciate Larry.
Yes.
Thank you, Larry.
Coming out and doing that for us, because that's going to be a tremendous help.
Yes.
And there's a lot of people with big hearts out there, so I know we're going to get a lot more sponsorships.
We've got them now. They're calling us and they're asking to be partners, and that
Wonderful.
means
Big as sombreros.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Heart as big as Texas.
That's right. The Bargain Finder guys, those guys up the road in Springville, making this sign behind us, who somebody's messed with,
Yeah.
obviously. So we're talking sports all year now, actually, because the show's not just about football. We're going to talk baseball, basketball, everything. But Bargain Finders has done a lot. They run our ads for our Madman Turns Santa. They help us along the way, so we got to give a shout out to those guys. But the number one partner sat down a couple weeks ago. Candy and Mayor work for Star 95. They've partnered with us 100%. I can't thank you guys and them enough for being a partner
So
of mine.
glad to be a part of it.
Yeah.
That's for sure. I mean,
we this thing is
it's
just
gonna be
keep
great.
growing.
It's going to get bigger and bigger, guys.
That's
That's
right.
right. So, hey, back to some football. Let's get going.
Yep.
Last year, those nasty Patriots have done it again, of course.
can we not even put that in a vocabulary? I wish they weren't even around anymore, but
We
they're
need
one
to
of
think of
the.
like a word to describe them without mentioning their name.
Right, without even talking about
Well,
it.
we could call them
We'll just
Tom
eliminate
Brady team.
the entire place of Boston and just take it off the map.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
We
So,
do have some fans out there, so we're sorry, but we're just tired of them, okay?
but for your New England fans, we're not fans, so there you go.
We're not.
Division-wise, guys, it was a fun year. Kansas City did their thing,
Awesome.
run through the league.
Yeah.
Run out of steam late. Of course, played New England. Questionable.
But you had a rookie
couple of
quarterback.
times. Yeah, he
You
did.
know, I mean, to get that far, right?
That's right. I'm telling you what, this kid is the real deal.
Got the year
Kansas
behind
City.
him now, so look out.
Hey, gonna be tough.
Did they do anything to get better though?
I don't know if they've done anything
I
to
think
get better, and
experience
they've
will
lost a
help,
couple
though. I really think
players.
experience will
Well,
help.
here's the thing that I kind
Yeah.
of worry about. It was Mahomes' first year starting, so you always get that sophomore slump.
Right.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But now he has that year actually being the starter. So that's, you know what I'm saying? I think that matters in the NFL.
And you're right. That sophomore slump hits a lot of those guys. I think this kid though, he's been there in that spotlight, and it makes a big difference because when you played on the stage, Texas Tech, you're playing against those big schools week in, week out.
Right.
To him, it's I'm doing it every week anyway.
Right.
Now you're right. He may hit that sophomore slump, but man, they got a lot of players. They're talented.
And we just
They are
we just seen so
talented.
many quarterbacks that just go through that same situation, have a great first year as a starter or even as a rookie,
Yeah.
and it's kind of
Well,
Fall
That's
actually,
been in a
Second year.
sophomore slump for years now.
well, you know, it kind of happens, but
Who's that?
Brett.
Tennessee has too.
We'll
We'll call that just a slump because it's not a sophomore slump.
Hey, y'all ball. Here we go.
easy now.
So while we're on Kansas City, let's talk about the AFC West. Last year, of course, Kansas City wins the division. Chargers made it in. Oakland, not a
Chargers
great
look
season.
Good too, though.
They did. They looked real
looked
good.
really good.
So I personally think Kansas City wins it again. But I'm telling you what, I love Phillip Rivers. I hate that he hasn't got there.
I do
I would
too.
love to see him get to a Super Bowl before he retires. This might be his year. They did some things in the offseason to get better.
They did.
and
They had a
the-
bad game.
Those LA Chargers,
They just had a
did-
bad game.
Well,
They really
they
did.
didn't stay on the East Coast. They play a playoff game. They fly back west. They fly back east. Guys, it takes a toll on your body.
It's an adjustment,
and
definitely.
and they got whitewashed at New England. But
Yeah. It was almost sad to watch because I think everyone expected the opposite. You
Yep.
know, but I just think it was just one of the worst games they could have played.
yep,
Well, I think they were playing the Patriots too, and everyone was just rooting for them.
yeah,
They
exactly,
had a lot of pressure.
But
exactly.
yeah, that was one thing I always questioned was why not stay on the East Coast?
It's just been so much easier.
Right.
Yeah, it's just
It's not like they didn't have the money.
right.
Well, and you could have treated a high school team use their facilities. Even a college, little small college team use their
They would
facilities.
have been glad to have them.
And that'll welcome them with open arms,
Yeah.
and there you go. You stay on the East Coast, you get plenty of rest, and it works out good for you. But it didn't.
Maybe
so.
they'll think about that after they listen to us.
I'm sure they'll think about
Maybe you
that.
just need to call them real quick.
Because they may be listening to the Madman Show right now.
Well, we do have some of those guys listening.
There
so
you go. There you
Could be
go.
one of them.
Well, matter of fact, I got to give a
Got 'em
shout
right
out.
now.
Speaking
Oh,
of
right.
having someone listen,
Yeah.
we're actually global now, and I don't know if you guys knew
I
this,
did. Heard the
but
news.
we've sold a car
Oh yeah.
to some fine folks, and I told them I'd give them a shout out today on the show. Tim and Emily from Germany, they're shipping a car across the seas.
It's a real
They
place,
bought it
Brett.
from Raymond.
Oh, yeah.
It is, really.
Real place, Brett.
It's not near UTEP
my
either, by the
God.
way.
Oh, my
The
God.
shipping company's picking the car up. They're delivering it over to the Air Force Base.
Yep.
Tim and Emily Brachero, thank you for your business. We appreciate you calling me and the gang down at Ramey's. We're sending that car over here shortly. So, hey, a shout out. We're global, guys.
awesome.
Maybe they'll tell their friends and we'll be all over the continent. So-
Global means the entire Earth, Brett.
I kind of thought that's what it meant.
You may have to translate this like to German or
Right.
whatever, that right? You
No,
know,
they-
Spanish.
I talked to those folks the other day and they're great.
Wonderful.
We love it.
So,
Great, good times.
we'll hit a couple divisions here real quick. Well, actually, we'll hit them all. We'll start with what I think is the most boring division in the AFC. AFC South. Houston, Tennessee,
It's
Jacksonville.
always been boring.
I'm
really.
telling you.
Maybe it's because we just don't like them as much.
Well, you got Jackson. Now, there are some changes. So Houston, of course, they still got Deshaun Watson. Jacksonville might make that step now,
Nick Foles.
signing Nick Foles.
I heard.
Hey, Super
Yeah.
Bowl winning quarterback. Nobody's giving this guy a chance, but I'm telling you what, he is the real deal.
Well, we know he's the real deal.
Absolutely. He took him to
He's
the Super Bowl.
I really wonder why they opted not to keep him, but I didn't understand all that. Did you?
You know,
it's, to me, it's
I know it's a money game, and I know that you got to look out for certain players, and Carson Wentz is the future of that team. But I'm telling you what, they could have kept him for minimal dollars, kept him on the staff. Carson Wentz hasn't played a full season, so you got to have somebody to back him up, and Nick Foles was the guy.
And I don't mean this badly because I don't want anything to happen to Wentz. I think he's a super nice guy as far as character.
Yes.
But he gets hurt.
He's been hurt 2 years in a row.
And sometimes when you start getting those injuries, it kind of just happens again and
Right.
again,
Well,
unfortunately.
Yep,
You can kind of look at how RG3 how he dealt with his. You know,
Yes.
once he tore his ACL the first time, and it's just something else,
Yeah.
something else, something else.
That's true.
So
Can't we see it?
we're
It becomes weaker.
Why can't we see it? I guess it is working, right?
We're working through our things as well.
Are we having technical difficulties?
technical
out
difficulties.
there?
Maybe not.
I think
maybe.
we're okay.
We'll find out.
It'll come out
Pull it
in the
up and
wash.
see if you can see it.
Yeah, that's what we'll do real quick.
So anyway, guys, so as far as that division goes,
But we're getting there.
Jacksonville, with the quarterback they've got, Tennessee, Tannehill goes from Miami
Mm-hmm.
to Tennessee. Mariota might be on the verge of losing his
I
job
don't
in
know why,
Tennessee.
though. I think Mariota is just going to get better.
I like Mariota, but another situation with Tennessee is that they can't figure out what offense to let Mariota run.
You know, speaking of the Redskins, that's a prime example.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
You
yeah.
change. You never give anyone to get comfortable. And it doesn't affect just the quarterback, but it affects your offensive line.
Yep.
And if you can't get comfortable with someone being the leader
Right.
of the offense, and I said, which, hey, I was glad the Redskins were losing. But I'm just saying, I never did understand that. It had to be frustrating for Redskin fans.
Right. Well, speaking of the Redskins, so you got Haskins, you just got right off the draft. Alex Smith coming back. So I mean, just
No, it's a little different. It's getting better.
who's going to take that first snap? I mean, who's going to get the
Alex
nod?
Smith
and-
won't be there this year. I don't think he's
I
going
thought
to.
that was a bad move anyway.
Right.
Alex Smith, I think he's had some good years, but I just
Right.
think he was going
Just kind
down
of that
instead
downhill
of up.
slide.
Yeah, yeah.
Alex Smith seems to be the quarterback that always falls into the situation with the up and coming
Yeah, well,
quarterback.
just like
This
at
is
San
the
Francisco.
third time,
Yeah,
right?
like at the 49ers, Colin Kaepernick was coming up.
Yeah.
Kansas City, Pat Mahomes.
Right.
So I mean, he's just wrong place, wrong
Consistency.
time.
Consistency means something.
I'm telling you, I think.
Well, I think if you look back at his time at the 49ers, up until that last year he was there, I mean, he played really good ball.
He
I mean,
did.
It was just, Colin had those 2 or 3 really good games that knocked him out of there.
Yeah.
So in that AFC North, you know, I mean AFC South was something just a second ago. I think Jacksonville might be that team to beat. I know Houston with Clowney and those guys and Deshaun Watson, but I'm telling you, I like Nick Foles. I like Jacksonville's chances, and I like that defense.
I tell you what, he's got a lot of talent and a lot of luck or something.
Yeah.
There's something about that guy.
Yeah.
Speaking of luck,
He lives right.
Speaking of luck, you can't look off past Indy. I mean, they
No.
ended the season on fire last year.
They sure
Look
did.
at Brett doing a segue.
How about that?
Man, hey.
He dove right in.
Dude.
He went into the deep end of
There
the
we
pool
go.
right there,
Went to
didn't
the
he?
deep end.
That's
Hey,
all,
all
hey,
you.
head
But,
first.
you gotta be entertained.
It's
Well,
about
I know
time
a
that
guy.
Andrew Luck brought some luck.
I know a guy named Mayor. He's kind of been talking to him. He's helping me out a little
Mayor.
bit.
There you go.
But
He's,
I mean,
Don't blame that on me.
Hey, we might not be able to make fun of him all year. That was pretty
So,
good.
That was
I mean,
darn
but anyway,
good.
Andrew Luck. Yeah, had a great
Great.
at the end of the year.
They got
On
better
fire.
too. They got better too in the off season. So
He just couldn't do anything wrong there for a while. Andrew
No,
Luck
he
was
was
just
right.
more than lucky.
Oh,
but
that's-
really,
that's
he was
definitely-
good.
Once he
Yeah.
got hurt, I think it steered him in another direction. But I think now with him healthy, 100%, he wasn't 100% last year. We know that. That's why they struggled all year. But I think this year being healthy, they got a shot. But I'm telling you what, Jacksonville with Nick Foles, Houston with Deshaun Watson, and him coming into that.
And hopefully he'll stay healthy.
And if
You
he
know,
stays healthy, I
because
can
once
promise
he's
you,
healthy,
Houston
he's
is
hard to
very
beat.
dangerous in that division.
Yeah.
They are.
So you almost convinced me that the AFC South is not going to be the most boring division in football.
I still think they will be.
Pretty exciting.
I don't know. You know, they do have some talent. That's
Yeah,
true.
they do.
I mean, obviously Tennessee's not going to be very good. The Titans, but man, it's
we
something
say
can't
that,
help.
and then they will.
Yeah, I know.
And
We've had to eat
well,
our words
I've discounted that team before, and 2 years ago they was playing New England in the playoffs.
That is true.
So it's all about coaching and getting that right guy in there. And Tennessee finds a way to make
And
it
a little
close
luck.
every year. That's exactly right. So we'll move over to the East. We'll save that AFC North for last. So New England, Buffalo, Miami, the Jets,
Yes.
those guys. We know New England's run rampant through that division for years. So
I don't think anything's going to change.
No.
I actually think that New England's going to struggle this year. Not because of their division. They play the NFC East this
Yes,
year.
yes.
So they play
Crossover.
Dallas, Washington, Philly, and New York.
Okay.
Plus they got Buffalo twice, Miami twice, Jets twice. And guys, we all know Le'Veon Bell left Pittsburgh and went to the Jets. So
Such a bad move.
it's
Are
going to
y'all
make
sad
the
about
Jets.
that? Such a
bad
I'm not, but I still think it is
I
as
wouldn't
good a
be
player as
after
he
the way
is.
he did the Steelers. If I was a Steeler fan, I would
That's
say
true.
adios.
And I
Adios.
agree.
You see what I said? Adios.
Adios.
Yeah.
There you go.
I tip my sombrero to the
So
Adios.
I think New England loses 5 or maybe 6 games this year. That gives that Buffalo team with Josh Allen a slight chance, if they can win some games, to jump up on top and maybe win that division.
I want
this
to
year.
be 1,000% on board with you. I just don't see it happening.
Me,
They'll
but the
all-
Buffalo Mafia wants it to happen.
Yes, they do. They always trip up in Miami.
They do. Yes, they
That
do.
is one divisional game you can always count on every year that New England will trip themselves up on. And that trip to Miami, I don't see the Jets getting them. Buffalo,
tough.
you may split with Buffalo, but there's 2 losses in your division. That's more
That's
years than not.
nothing.
That's in
They
one
had
division.
more than that
And it
this
does.
year.
And I think where Buffalo may get that shot is if New England loses to the Cowboys and Philly
And they're going
or
to.
some of those guys, and Buffalo gets one win in there somewhere, they could, because all it takes is one more win than the other guy.
But you know, really, if you think about it, guys, and I hate to say this, but New England did not have the best regular season last
Mm-hmm.
year. They were almost fragile in some instances. You know, you thought, oh, they're out this year. We all
Yep.
thought that kind of, you know. And then all of a sudden, when playoffs came, it's like, they just
Yep.
arrived,
I know,
for
and it-
playoffs.
Patriots do Bill Belichick's somewhat similar to what Greg Popovich does in basketball. They don't care
Smooth
about the regular
sailing.
season. They rest players once they solidify the playoff spot. They're ready to go.
Once you get in that playoffs, their money. I mean, they're
But when you
Patriots
have a
just-
weak
it's go
division,
time,
you
man.
can do that.
Oh, yeah,
you know what
most
I'm saying?
definitely.
You can do
Yeah.
that because that's what happens when playoffs start. So many of your starters are hurt, which does hurt your chances to
Yeah.
win the playoffs
Yeah.
or on. So.
And that's true because they'll come out of the gate and sometimes they struggle. First 4 games of the season, they start doing this. they kind of level out going into playoffs in those last 4 games of the season, and when the playoffs start, it's
They're
straight
back
up. That's true. I mean, they always find a way to win. That's why they won the Super Bowls they have.
Yeah.
But this year, I really think there's going to be a change, and not just in that division, but I think there's going to be a lot of teams that go from bottom to top, and a lot that go from top to bottom. So, matter of fact, here a little later, we're going to figure out, or we're going to actually pick who we think is that one team in the whole league that might be that guy that jumps up to maybe go deep into the playoffs or even the Super Bowl. So we'll
Sounds
talk
like
about that
fun.
as well.
Yeah.
So AFC North,
Okay.
the biggest, the baddest division in football, baby.
We're just a
There's the
little
AFC North,
prejudiced
and then there's
here.
all the other divisions.
That's exactly right. So we know AB left. He's gone out to brighter pastures in Oakland.
See ya.
Le'Veon's left. I'm okay with it. And I think most Pittsburgh fans are. Here's the thing, guys. I think what Pittsburgh's got to do this year, Big Ben, offensive line, defensive line have to understand. 1, make that locker room right. And 2, make sure you let everybody know we don't miss them. We can win without them. And if you can do that, Pittsburgh can win this division and go deep in the playoffs.
Yeah, they found that out a little too late last year. You know,
Well, but with
they were kind of
Connor's-
crying around about it.
Connor-
Seriously.
Done a
Yeah.
amazing job
Yeah.
last year stepping up.
Oh, he
They'll
did.
just have to find
He
someone
did.
to catch
Yeah.
catch the deep ball.
He did.
Right.
But there was all that
And I think,
controversy in the locker room.
I think Juju's going to be kind of your deep threat now, because you got James Washington coming in, you got Metcalf that we got in free agency. I think that's going to help out a lot. So I
Wait a
think,
minute. So there's 1, 2, 3 Pittsburgh
Oh, yeah.
fans. Oh my!
Oh,
No
yeah.
wonder I'm so stressed out.
Now she's got to start wearing her blue and white.
But
I've got a Pittsburgh shirt that'll fit you.
No, thank you. Well, I could use that when I'm like cooking.
There you go. So, Baltimore,
Just kidding.
Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and Cincinnati. I don't think Cincinnati's even close. I will say this. If anybody did anything in the offseason to make their season right for 2019, man, the Cleveland Browns have loaded the box full.
Somebody let the dog pound out.
I don't know if they can all
that's a lot of
coexist.
personalities.
If they mesh.
That's a lot of personalities you're going to have to
Yeah.
deal with. That's a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah.
And
And they're so hungry.
But-
I mean, they're hungry. The fans are really,
I'm
really
hungry.
hungry.
Did we work?
Where are our nachos
That's right.
at?
Bring us some food to eat. You're right. If they can mesh,
Yeah.
they may not. But when you got Jarvis Landry on one side, Odell Beckham on the other side, you're 4 deep at running back and a quarterback that absolutely can sling the football. You have got to love your chances.
Yeah.
So it looks like to me, guys, that you were saying that that's who's going to be y'all's pick.
Wrong.
We can't do
You
that.
thought you thought that might be.
I
it.
thought that's where it was headed.
But
Okay.
Baker Mayfield, I hate to say it, I'm a fan.
I'm a huge fan.
I'm
a big
on
Baker
Baker
Mayfield
Mayfield train.
I like
He
the
is-
guy. How can you not?
Hey,
He's
you're-
just got this brash mentality,
Oh, yeah.
man. It's
He's
just,
That's
He's
right.
got that swagger about him.
He's
He's
man.
got that
Everybody
swagger.
loves.
You know what? He doesn't really care that anybody likes his
Exactly.
swagger or
Exactly.
not. And that's why I like him.
Well,
Just-
and
I
the
think
other,
he's the right quarterback for those
He's-
type of wide receivers.
he's the right guy, and I'll tell you what else. Like you said, you like him. He's got that spunk. He's got that attitude about him. But and even above that, the kid wants to win.
He really wants
He
to
don't
win.
want to lose. He wants to find a way. Whether it's get it in the end zone or pick up a first down or rush for a yard, it don't matter. He wants to win.
And he's really made the fans come alive.
Oh,
with him.
yeah.
And they deserve it because
All 7 of them
they've
are
been
back.
waiting. They've been waiting so long for this kid, But anyway,
He's,
definitely.
He's completely just changed the atmosphere at Cleveland.
He's making a
He's
trade in
just,
the NFL there. Had to-
There you go.
He's just doing a good job.
Baker just takes the trades.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thanks for the compliment.
Thanks. Yeah.
So in that division, it's a toss-up. You got Lamar Jackson, Baltimore. I mean, they're hungry. He's done a good job last year. Cleveland. I think Cincinnati. They're just not going to be good at all this year. But I think between those three, honestly, if Pittsburgh can't get their locker room right, Cleveland could win that division.
Cleveland looks tough. I'm telling you. If they pick up where they left off
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times people get their hopes way up. It's just like the Raiders when they got Derek Carr. These teams, a lot of times, you got to learn to win and learn how to win first and how to handle it. Cleveland, I don't know if got quite there
Yeah.
yet, but I think those late games, and when it's 7-3 and you give up a late touchdown, those are the games you got to learn how to win.
But that again, it's experience.
It is
That's
experience.
what comes in for him.
And once you learn that process, then you start winning 8, 9, 10.
You get a little
games.
confidence behind you too on those late last minute.
That's exactly right.
2 teams from the AFC North are in the playoffs this year.
Yes.
Can I guess for it?
I know of 2 that I think is going to be there.
Cleveland, Pittsburgh.
I think Cleveland, Pittsburgh
I'm a
is
mind
probably
reader.
my team. Yeah.
No, I really agree with you guys. I mean, especially with the Cleveland. I think that they're there.
Yeah,
If they, pick up.
Yes.
I do.
So we'll get over to the NFC and talk a little bit about those guys.
Best conference, but let's go.
There you go.
That's it, yeah.
And we'll actually
NFC won a Super Bowl.
we'll say
It's been a while. It's
It's been a
time for the
while.
Cowboys to shake it up.
that's right. So
Are they going to pay somebody else to win it for them?
Yeah, they're going to win this year.
I guess-
The only hope you have the NFC might be the Bears, maybe.
No, I think Cowboys are better than the Bears. I really do.
that's what I got ready to hit us with was to start with.
And I'll
the
tell
North.
you why
Rick
here in a
and Stephanie
minute.
are
Why
great
I think
flags
the
on.
Cowboys are going to do it this year. I have. There's an ingredient coming. Actually, there's 2 big ingredients coming to the Cowboys. But I'll tell
Stay
there's 3.
tuned. Stay tuned, guys. When we get to the NFC East,
I can't.
she's
help
going
it.
to
I
tell us
can't
why
wait.
the
I can't wait.
Cowboys. So NFC North, the Bears, the Vikings, Green Bay, Detroit. Bears last year.
The Bears.
It'll be the Bears again.
I like the Bears. I like Trubisky. He's a good quarterback. But, guys, don't count out the Packers. Rodgers finds a way
You can't
sometimes.
count out the Packers.
The new coach, they head down a different road. And Green Bay may be there. I like the Bears. I'm like you, other than having a kicker that can make a
But
field
you know
goal.
that makes a difference.
If you score enough touchdowns, you
That's
don't
exactly
make
right. So interesting division. I don't know if there wasn't a whole lot of changes in that division. The Vikings they're going to have Dalvin Cook back. He should be ready to go. That's going to be big for the Minnesota Vikings because they want to take it off of Kirk Cousins. He can't win that game. He can't win the Super Bowl.
No.
But Dalvin Cook can help get him to the playoffs.
Oh man, he's awesome.
And he's a good one if he can stay healthy.
If he can stay healthy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and real quick before we go to another division, guys, we're live. Tell your friends. Tell all your friends out there
Yeah, you
to
can share this afterwards.
share.
Even your friends globally.
That's right. And follow us on Facebook, Madman. Follow us everywhere,
We're
guys.
big in Germany.
That's
We're
right.
big in Mexico.
There you go.
Obviously.
So,
We're big in Dorian Bonham.
That's right.
Which is like another country.
exactly.
So,
It's definitely like another country.
And guys,
He can say that because he's the mayor.
that's right. He's the mayor. He can say what he wants.
I can say that.
So make sure you get by El Mariachi's in Richlands every Wednesday at your lunchtime. We will be here. The mayor, Candy, myself, the Madman, and Brett, the Hitman, talking football and bringing up that Madman turned Santa, making sure we can get some letters for these kids. We're going to get gifts for about 100 kids this year.
Yeah.
So that's the goal.
That's major.
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 Yes, it is. Another shout out to Larry down at State Farm, guys. Make sure you get down to Castlewood or give those guys a call. State
you don't
Farm
have to
at
go all the way to Castlewood.
You don't have to
You
drive
can
all the way
call.
down. Just call him.
You can email.
Hit him up on a text or whatever. Don't matter.
They've installed phones in Castlewood, I hear.
Do they?
So,
They've got them in
good.
down there. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So that's
Do they
good.
have internet?
Yeah.
About time.
All of it.
Get him on the web then, guys. There you go. So for all your insurance needs, make sure you shout out those guys. But hey, it's football, and we're so glad it's only a couple months away,
Almost
right?
here. Almost here.
NFC South. And I like this division. I like
It is,
it real well.
of course it is.
New Orleans, Carolina, Atlanta, Tampa Bay. I
have New
love the
Orleans.
division. New Orleans, pass interference. It was a missed
I
call.
think they're going to run the table again. Really
I think
do.
they have a lot of anger that's
Exactly.
been up all these months now, and it's going to do something.
It's,
it may make them
Make it- I think-
deflate, but it could make them even escalate.
I think it's going to make them a lot better. I mean,
Yeah.
With me, yeah.
Drew Brees, he's hungry
They've
for
got
the
something
Super
to
Bowl
prove.
win. Yeah, who knows how much longer he's going to be in the league? And maybe
Keeps on
just,
ticking,
Just
yeah.
maybe though, if something happens, they pull out a Super Bowl win this year, he may just go ahead and hang up the cleats. But
You know, I have to say that was such a bad call. I feel sorry for him.
Oh.
I mean, honestly, that was a bad call. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I kept looking at the screen thinking they're going to reverse it or
I
something.
knew they were
going to
review this.
I
And
mean, it was
believe
awful.
they did not reverse that.
didn't even review it.
But that's
Well, no, they didn't. You're right.
That's the NFL for you.
Yeah.
Wow, that was
It's,
just a
it's
terrible
so
call.
hit and miss and spotty. It's
So that's what's all. We're still here, sitting here talking about it. That's what they want.
I
Yeah.
know.
Oh, yeah,
That's-
sure.
you're-
It's
you're
the soap
definitely
opera
right.
of the NFL, guys.
They're going to have signs. Can you imagine the signs are going to be everywhere in the stadium
Oh,
this year about that?
I promise you.
It'll be
Yeah,
It's gonna
everywhere.
be
So New Orleans, I think they've got every weapon back. Atlanta, fall down, come back up. It seems that way every year. They win 8, then they win 12. So who knows? Atlanta may be there too. Carolina, Newton's supposed to be healthy. They say he's 100%. So Superman's back, guys. So check out Carolina.
But it seems like
Sometimes.
whoever comes out of this division is going to compete for a Super Bowl
As
championship.
well.
They're going to make a deep run in the playoffs.
And just like her having a couple little thoughts she's going to give you about the Cowboys, I got a team in this division, and I'm not going to tell you who it is right now, that is my team that I think is going to go deep, deep, deep in the playoffs.
This must be the one.
This division.
Oh wow.
This
Wow.
division.
Well-
I'm not going to tell you the team yet.
I
Oh,
think
okay.
one of our viewers might disagree with you because he wants to know, is that still a division?
Who does?
Larry.
Oh.
He's watching.
Hey, Larry's live in
Hey,
Castlewood.
Larry.
So the internet is working down there.
So
That is
we
awesome.
live in
We
Castlewood.
knew it was. We knew it was
You
working.
can celebrate in Castlewood.
There you go.
All right.
Over to the west, and those high-flying Rams.
The spoiler.
Yeah, and God, man, I wish they would have. I wish they would have played a little better ball.
Yeah.
I was
But-
rooting for him.
Well, I was too. So you got the Rams in Seattle. The Cardinals with new coach, new quarterback,
I think they got a way to go.
and the
Yeah,
49ers.
that's true.
49ers is
There's
that's a soap opera. In
That's
Yeah.
a has-been.
Yeah.
For a
Garoppolo
while.
is healthy though.
Yeah, that
So-
is.
I don't see it
Well,
happening.
we'll just have to see how long he's healthy.
Yeah.
He's kind of like, we're talking about luck and Carson Wentz. Once you get hurt, it's a lot easier to get hurt again.
Well, that's
It
true.
is.
Yeah.
That's true.
So-
And,
then
and,
who
and it's a
knows?
bad leg injury, so it's hard to come back from
Yeah.
something like
And
that.
I
Yeah,
wish
'cause
him the
you're on
best,
that.
though. I
Yeah,
really
A
do.
lot, Brett. You're on your legs a lot.
I hate to see any of them injured. I don't care who they play for, who they are. I mean, that's sad. They work so hard,
Yeah.
and then they get that injury, and sometimes it's season-ending and then career-ending for
Yep,
some. So.
that's exactly right. But I think the Rams are going to be back. I
Yes.
think McVay does a great job. He's going to have them right back in the mix of
And he's
things.
so young.
Well,
I mean, he's great.
Go
He's a
back to
great
that Super
coach.
Bowl game because where he's young head football coach. You just think, Bill. Well, obviously, I think in my opinion, just Belichick out coached him.
He did.
Yeah, he doesn't have that experience. If they have another great season and they get back to the Super Bowl, you think they can
He would
pull
have
it
done a
out?
whole lot of things differently, I promise you, because you can't keep trying to do that same, that definition of insanity, doing that same
Right.
thing. Man, let your quarterback win the game.
Once again,
because-
experience.
Oh yeah, he went in there and he changed his
Yeah.
offense and tried to do things that he hadn't done all year. You can't do that in the biggest game
If,
of
if
your
it's not
life.
broke, don't fix it.
I mean, it was like you were wanting to tell him. It was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But I think once again he'll have that behind him.
Mhm.
Hopefully he'll learn.
That's exactly right. NFC East.
What division's that?
So
That has been division.
The Eagles, the
You know
Redskins,
what?
and the Giants.
These are some mad Pittsburgh fans because the Cowboys made the playoffs last year.
So-
They made the playoffs. But
The
anyway,
East.
The
Is
East.
that even?
I love the
The
Cowboys.
Eagles have won the Super Bowl recently.
Yeah,
the
they
Cowboys
have.
not.
You know what?
Oh,
They
that's true.
have.
true.
But you know what? My Cowboys are back, and I want to tell you some
Here
reasons
let's
why.
Tune in to Candy right now.
Number
You said
one,
the same thing last year.
Number one, we have Ezekiel Elliott back. Yes, we do. But here's one thing that's going to help him, and I think
He's not in
every
jail?
team needs this. He's not in jail. He's healthy, and he's doing good.
Congratulations.
But
on
anyway,
staying out of
they
jail.
did get a guy from Memphis. He's a running
Oh,
back
Memphis?
from Memphis. But listen, his name's Tony Pollard. I think it's right. Pollard's how you say it. He
The
is
football
going to
powerhouse
be. He doesn't
of
need to be that
Memphis.
good, guys. He just needs to be a decoy. You got to have somebody in the back that can just run the ball a little bit because you can't have Ezekiel Elliott running. They're keying on him all the time. I always believe in that other guy in the backfield.
Right.
And I think that's going to help a lot. My man Jason Witten's back. I love you, Jason. I'm so glad you're coming back.
That's right. I forgot about
And
that.
he's a threat.
That was terrible.
After a failed TV career.
But you know what? I'm glad it failed because I wanted him back on the field, and I'm happy he's back.
How productive is Jason Witten really going to be?
Well, I'll tell you, he's there, and that's going to make a difference because, let's face it, Jason Witten was probably the best to me. I
Yeah.
mean, he was the best. He was the best out there.
It'd be
as
like
far as
trying to-
on the offense.
I-
He was a
I
threat.
actually-
he could catch the ball. I mean, he's a big guy. He was there when they needed
Right.
him. Put it that way.
I actually, and I,
He's the best tight end. Is what I was going to try to say. He's the best tight end I think in football, or he was at one time.
it makes my stomach a little
He was.
queasy to say what I'm about to say.
Oh no.
I actually agree with you a little bit.
Thank you,
Why'd
Batman.
you go there?
I'm pouring my heart out.
But only for this.
That's not good. That's not good.
I
But
told you
it's
it
true.
did make me a
It's
little
true.
queasy.
Go
So,
ahead, Batman. Tell me.
Jason Witten being back, the one thing it does do, because I'm telling you now, I've told Candy for a long time, Garrett, to me, I think is one of the worst coaches in the NFL.
Well,
And I wish they
I'm
would
right
get
there
rid of
with
him.
you on that.
However, Jason Witten being back in that locker room, the one thing it does do, it brings that veteran
Wow.
presence back to that locker room, and you settle the quarterback down, you settle the running back down, you settle the rookies down, and you bring that team closer together, how to play, how to listen to the coaches, how to do what you're supposed to do. So I do think he brings that back because
Thank you, man,
one
for
thing
being
about
honest.
Jason Witten when he's playing for the Cowboys is you never heard a word out of him.
He's
You
a
never-
tough guy,
You never
let
heard
me tell
anything
you.
off the
You
field.
didn't really hear a
issues.
word out of him on TV either.
No, you didn't on TV. That's for sure.
Thankfully. Thankfully.
That's all. Well, we have Troy Aikman. That's okay. I can
Yeah.
say Troy Aikman and Romo, and that's good for me. But the other thing that is really key is Frederick. You know, he was hurt. He was ill. He had the autoimmune deficiency disease. All-pro center on your offensive line. You need a good center.
Even
And it's
Johnny didn't want to be a Cowboy.
It's so important.
Well, I mean,
it's so
to be
important. And he is an all-pro. Let me tell you, they missed him last year. I missed him tremendously. So many things that they needed was him, and he's back. So
Well, it's
thank
just-
you. I'm glad he's better.
It's just so rough to even just want to play for Dallas.
I wouldn't want to play for Pittsburgh, man. Come
Wow.
on.
Still city.
I don't like
What
the
takes out
Steelers
what
at
takes
all.
out the Dallas Cowboys first? An opposing player or team?
See, they're
or the
so
criminal
upset.
justice
They
system?
didn't win the Super Bowl. They didn't even get in the playoffs, and now they're upset. Boo hoo.
Okay, real quick.
That
So
was pretty good.
That
was good.
I don't know if y'all done a lot of thinking about it. I figured I'd surprise y'all with that.
Okay.
So the team, any team, doesn't matter who it is. Who do you think is going to be that team that just absolutely makes a complete turnaround deep? Could go deep in the playoffs, maybe even be your Super Bowl pick.
Oh wow! Oh my gosh! I need to be in on this one. There were so many.
Don't put right on the spot.
Well, I mean, there's so many
It's like,
teams that I think that are going to get a lot
Tennessee Volunteers.
better.
Oh, no.
Come on!
You
Don't-
should,
don't be bashing
you
on
should love
Volunteers.
Jason Witten. You know he's a Tennessee guy.
Oh, I know, but I just don't like Dallas.
I know you
If
don't.
play-
That's-
if
that's
he
obvious
played for
on this table.
anybody but Dallas.
Yeah, I love my Cowboys.
But I mean, there were just so many teams that were just kind of off the wall last year, and they've done a lot, this offseason to get better. But I don't know yet. I need a minute.
Well,
Andy?
I'm going with the Cowboys, not
Remember,
just
we're
because I
live,
love
Brett. We
them.
don't have that
Well, I
kind of
mean-
time.
I'm going with
Everybody else
Dallas.
go.
See,
Get
you
me
guys are
last.
going to be upset.
They were in the
Cowboys.
playoffs last year.
So
So
she's
really a big
Well,
jump.
I mean,
Well,
that's
it
not
is
a
a
jump.
jump because they have these players back, and I think they really needed. That was the key that they were missing. And they also got some holes filled in the defense, but I won't go there yet. We'll save that for later.
There you go.
Fortunately, I'm going to say the Browns.
Browns.
I'm going to say the Browns are going to
The
make
Browns.
a big jump. And I think they'll get at least a wild card playoff spot this year.
I actually kind of agree with the mayor.
Oh, I'm 100% with.
But you're
Larry.
talking Super Bowl, though,
But-
right? So we're talking.
No, we're
You're
just-
just jumping on our.
Who
But-
we think
hold
might
on.
go deep, maybe deep
Well,
in the
I think
playoffs or
it's
something.
okay.
So
The-
just a
their,
big
their,
turnaround.
their turnaround began last year.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
going to continue.
I don't think they'll make it through the wild card though. I think they'll clinch a spot
Mm.
and probably win the North. I really do. I think they'll win the North.
Wow, we're not on leave.
That's a limb.
It is a limb.
But I really do. I think Cleveland's
Bro,
going
you're
to
too
win
big
the
to be
North.
going out on limbs.
I know, man.
Hey, anything's possible at this point.
But-
Hadn't even started yet. So
That's right.
We'll have to
Season's
wait and
coming.
see.
Hey, so all
it's
right,
going to be a
guys.
fiery season. I can tell.
So NFC South, and I'm a big
Just wait
Pittsburgh
till
fan.
college football.
I'm a huge Pittsburgh fan. However, I believe there's a lot of people that won't like this because I'm going to say this because there's not a lot of Jameis Winston fans out
I like
there.
Jameis, okay.
However,
I do.
I'm telling you right now, with the coaching staff, they bring in Bruce Arians. He brings in a young staff. He's brought in several players. They're deep at wide
He's a great
receiver.
coach.
Oh yes, he's a great coach. Quarterback whisperer.
Oh,
Quarterback
definitely.
whisperer.
He's a former Hokie, Brett.
Yeah,
There
he
you
is.
go.
He is a former Hokie. We know
Bruce,
that.
I think Tampa
Some good
Bay,
things coming out of Blacksburg. Not
from
a lot,
being
but-
last in the division last year, I think Tampa Bay goes deep into the playoffs. They might play Pittsburgh in the Super Bowl if they make it that far.
Well, I'm glad that you are a big Virginia Tech fan, and I know Jameis Winston is a Florida State guy, right?
Yes.
So I'm proud of you for saying that. I'm really
I am.
proud of you for not being so.
I wish I'd have thought this
You
through.
did.
If my brain wasn't trapped by this sombrero.
That's a big deal.
Exploded right there live on Facebook.
Jameis
But,
Winston's a good quarterback.
I like it. That was can't hate it.
I had to think a little bit about it, but I like Bruce Arians. He's a really good coach.
He is a good coach.
And guys, don't forget when the season starts, and we may be off a week or two. We don't know yet, or we may be back here next week. Once we
We're gonna get
start,
thrown out here today.
well, they may kick us out in a minute.
Yeah.
Once we start, and if we take a week off here, we'll definitely be back probably by the middle of July.
Yeah.
From then on, it's football. And guys, when football starts, we are going to make our picks every week. We're going to pick about 8 or 9 games, and we're going to let you see our records on Facebook Live every week. And don't forget the Madman last year about 80%. Don't
For
forget.
entertainment purposes only.
That's right. The dog of the week every week. I had some big dogs
You
of
had
the
some
week.
good dogs.
Yeah,
Yes.
even some small schools. I think Liberty
Hey, I
was in
believe
there
you
last
picked
year.
Cowboys to beat New Orleans.
I did.
You did.
I
I remember
did.
that. I was thinking you were crazy.
I'm gonna pick those dogs of the week again this year. So, guys, we want to make sure everybody's back. Make sure you share with your friends. Tell them to tune in. Tell them to get by El Mariachi's on Wednesday. Every Wednesday, we'll be here doing the show, and we're gonna be live all year.
Yep.
It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be fun year, man. I'm excited about it.
Yeah. And now this is Zorozak.
That's right.
But, yeah.
That's exactly right. Real quick, guys, we want to make sure we thank all of our sponsors, our partners, State Farm, Larry Johnson and the gang down there, very generous. Thanks for calling. We're glad to have those guys as partners, so make sure you contact those guys down there. Numbers on your screen there for all your insurance needs, life insurance, health insurance, car insurance, whatever. El Mariachis for being kind enough to let us come in and do our show. Thank you guys. But at the same time, we want you guys to come by and have some lunch with Madman and the gang. Southern Roots over at over in Richlands, downtown Richlands. Make sure you get by and see Savannah and the gang. Get your hair done, all your hair products. She's also a drop-off point for the Madman Turns Santa. Guys, again, we want to take care of 100 kids this year, so the only way to do that is get plenty of toys and plenty of money. So make sure you go by there and see Savannah, drop off a toy. She's going to give you a discount on all your hair care needs. Eugene and the guys at Coalfield Sports for all your local high school sports. Make sure you tune into Coalfield Sports. Those guys are awesome. Matter of fact, Eugene helped on the behind the scenes to help get this up and running this year to do our Facebook Live. So shout out to Eugene. Thank you so much. Bargain Finder up the road, Eva and the gang at Bargain Finder. Thank you so much. We appreciate everything you do. The ads you put in for the Madman. And I can't thank Star 95 enough. After meeting with those guys, and Candy and Zach's been with me for the last 2 or 3 years, and so has Brett the Hitman. These two right here have really went overboard.
We love you, Madman.
Well, we appreciate it.
We're glad to be a part of it once again. 'Cause it's just one of those things once you see it in person, you think you're really grateful about helping and give back to the kids. That's the best part about all this.
And the most awesome thing about it is you see these kids, and it's not opening up, a brand new computer. It's opening up a pack of socks, and these kids are just, going crazy when they see it. So it's so nice to have you guys as partners and being able to go see these kids and take care of them and buy them some things for Christmas. So we definitely want to thank everybody out there. And if you want to be a sponsor, if you want to be a partner, reach out, let us know, reach us on Facebook. Go to madmanclub.com. If you've got any questions, you can feel free to send them through there, or even reach out to Star 95, and those guys will be glad to help as well. This right here is our Madman. Just to send a letter in, send it to the Madman in the morning at P.O. Box 625, Cedar Bluff, Virginia. That right there, send a letter if you know a family that needs a good Christmas and they've got some kids. You feel free to send those letters in. We go through every letter we get. We read them all. We call everybody.
Yeah, you don't have to look too far to see someone in need. So,
That's right.
you know, just check out your neighbors, people around your church, your community, and let the Madman know.
Thank you guys again. We appreciate it. We will see you guys next week.
Adios.